Okay, welcome back everyone to this final exercise of the training about 2D drawing views. I think this one should be a bit of a breather. So let me share my screen. And we will find the exercises or the files that we need in the final folder here, 2D drawing views, starter files, and I will open this maturating vessel ready. So this contains an assembly with some sub-assemblies, and basically we want to create some drawing views from this assembly. I will start with some views, some base views of the entire model. So we can find the base view feature or command here in the annotate tab of the ribbon, and base views. And I will select the entire model, so just press enter or click this in the command line. Choose the default layout, BTR-A1. I will just also use the default scale. I will not yet place it on the sheet because actually I don't want this front and side view on my sheet. I want to create sections and other views from this projected view. So, but I want to use them as a basis. So I will place them next to my sheet so I have them as a reference. So by default, the front view is created. And then when moving my cursor automatically, depending on where my cursor is, I will create a top view, a right view, left view, top isometric view, and so on. So I will just create a front and left view like this and press enter to place them. So my front view and my left view. And I will create section views from this. So based on this left view here, I will create a full section view. So again, in the annotate tab and the ribbon, under section view, there's a couple of options, and we will choose this this first one, a full section view. First, select the drawing view, which is just this left one here, so this one. So I'll just click somewhere inside it, so select it. And I want to go straight through the middle of my drawing, so I will make sure I have the correct location here by using snap tracking and going straight down the middle in one straight line. Now moving my cursor to the right, I can place this section view through this left view here on my sheet. I also want to create a projected view from one of those main views here. Projected views you can also find here in the annotate tab of the ribbon. And I will start by creating a top view from this front view here. So from the first view we placed, select it. And again, based on where my cursor is, I will create different views. So the top view will be created when I move my cursor down. Now, actually, I want to create a top view like this one here, but I want to place it over here. But of course, when I move my cursor, you see it creates an isometric view, which I don't want. So what I can do is I can move my cursor so I have this preview of the top view. And then hit the Control key once to break this alignment, basically. So now I'm in top view and I can move it wherever I want. So I'll just place it here underneath my section view and press enter. I'm going to do the same, but now for the bottom view. So this is now a top view of my assembly. I also want a bottom view, so I'll do the same. Go to projected views, select my first one here. Move it upwards this time for a bottom view, and hit the Control key once to break alignment. I'll just place it somewhere next to my top view here. Now I also want to create some views, not of the entire assembly, but of a subassembly. So going back to my model space here, see there's some subassemblies, for instance, this manhole here. I want to create some views from this manhole. So again, I will use the base view command, but instead of using the entire model, I will select this one subassembly. Again, choose the default layout. And before placing it, I will change the scale to something smaller. So in the command line, I can change my scale to fit 10 views. And again, by default, the first view that you create is a front view. And moving my cursor upward then will be a bottom view. So I'll create these two views, and then based on this bottom view, I will again create a side view. So projected views, select my drawing, and create this side view. I want to do the same to the other manhole in my vessel here at the top. But actually in this case, you will see that the manhole is at an angle, which also means if I would create a base view from this, I would place it, let's say, here on my sheet. You see they're all at a strange angle, and we don't want that. I actually want to have a decent top view or front view. So to do that, I'll just undo these steps here. To do that, I will make sure my current view in this viewport here is aligned with the manhole, and I can base my my base views off there. So in the ribbon under the View tab, I can change my viewpoint so that it is aligned with this manhole. So I'll choose Plan View, hover my cursor over this middle circle here. Again, make sure Dynamic UCS is enabled, otherwise this won't work. And as soon as I'm here, I can right-click, and my view should move so that it's aligned with this manhole. Now, actually, I want to have my view so that this manhole, that this button here is on the right and not at the bottom. So I'm going to want to move or rotate my screen. The easiest way to do that would be using the look from, but we first have to make sure that the look from is in twist mode instead of isometric mode. So we can right-click it, change the twist mode, and now this allows me to twist my view according to a certain angle. So let's rotate right over 90 degrees until we have something like this. And now again, using the base view command, I will select my manhole, press enter. And now I have to change the orientation. So under orientation, instead of front, back, left, right, top, bottom, we'll choose current, which will be the current orientation of our view in the viewport and model space. So this is now a nice top view. And again, a bottom view can be created as well. Just like this. Okay, adding dimensions to the drawings is fairly easy. It's pretty straightforward, so I can add, for instance, a linear dimension from this point to this point, indicating how high the vessel is. And note that this linear dimension will also still remain intact when we add, for instance, brake lines. So I can add a brake line. Let's say this vessel, we don't have as much space on the sheet as we want to. And over this entire area, there's not much happening. It's not really interesting for a drawing, so I can add a brake view to simplify or to make this drawing more compact. So select my view, and I can add 2 brake lines. Let's say one here and here. And basically everything between those 2 lines will be removed. And we'll have this brake line symbol here that indicates that it's a brake line. Also, as I mentioned, the dimension here remains intact. I can change the view or the properties of this brake line, for instance, a different type of zigzag, or change the scale of the zigzag. Okay, so all pretty straightforward. There's one final thing I want to add to the sheet. I want to add a view of one of my of a pin here. So let's go back to the model space here. And moving back to this manhole here, there's this in the mechanical browser, what it's called, handle pin. I'm gonna add some drawings of this handle pin as well on the sheet. But first I want to make a change. I want to add a thread on this pin. Currently it's not modeled on this pin, so I'm going to open the drawing to make the changes in the actual model, and then later we'll add the drawings on the sheet. So this is now modeled as a simple cylinder here, but I want to add a thread. This can be done fairly easily using the thread feature. So in the solid tab of the ribbon, there's this tiny button here to create a thread on a drawing view. So I will do that. Select the face that is threaded, so this cylindrical face here, the start edge, and I can add things like the thread pitch, the thread length, and so on. Now, selecting the thread here in the mechanical browser, I can still change these parameters. So I can change the pitch or the length. Let's say I want to have a length of 80 millimeters instead of 106. This won't be visible here on the model, but it will be visible on our sheets. So if I now save this drawing, this handle pin, and go back to my vessel, I just want to make sure before going to my sheet that I update everything. So a change was made in one of the sub-assemblies. I want to make sure this is also updated here. So in the assembly tab, I can click the update button to make sure the model is completely up to date. Now going back to my sheet, I will notice that it's loading because it's actually redrawing everything because of the change I made. This is also optional. Again, in the annotate tab here, there's the auto updates button. If you enable this, it will always update drawings when you make a change in the model. If not, it won't. Okay, so the drawings are up to date. Now I'm just going to add some more base views for this this handle pin here. So drawing views, and I can hover over it. And because it's part of a sub-assembly, it's a level deeper. I can hit Tab to find the sub-assemblies. So hitting Tab until I find the pin. Left click it, press Enter. And again, I'm going to change the orientation to, let's say, front, and then left. And you can now see the thread here is indicated by this extra line here, length of 80 millimeters. And also here the thread is displayed in the front view.